Yo, the lies told that you never make it. Hopeless, so it seems. Eyes closed, candles open wide to embrace your dreams. Sometimes you gotta take a loss just to get the win. Like lots of sin was popping in like oxygen when boxes win. Focus on the mental, never lose like smooth instrumental. Better choose on the move in a pinto. Choose when I get to, never lose smooth on the move, but it's simple. Never give up and we running it, maybe. We just keep winning, we conquering daily. Envision and pay me, it's never the sway me. Indigenous, maybe we winning, it's crazy. Your opportunity, your opportunity, your opportunity. This your opportunity, your opportunity, your opportunity, your opportunity. This your opportunity, your opportunity, your opportunity, your opportunity. This your opportunity, your opportunity.
Yeah. Welcome on, ladies and gentlemen. It is the Lions Villain Report. This is the Thursday edition, but this is a special edition today because you know why? You know why? Because it's game day. We have a Detroit Lions football game tonight, and we want to talk about it. Thank you for viewing the Villain Report on this Thursday, August the 8th right here, and we're broadcasting live into the Lions Villain Squad Facebook page with 52,000 strong right there. Thank you for following our page. Also, Detroit Lions News Podcast with Joe Chapp and the boys over there, always putting out good content. We love being partners with you guys. And then JC Sports and the Lions Villain Squad YouTube channel. So we have a whole bunch of that stuff going on, as well as Roku. Yeah, we on Roku. NFL, The Huddle on Roku right there. And I don't know, this is fun. This is fun. We talk football. We're 365. We got content going on our page 365 days a year, creating conversation. Right, that's right. Join the conversation. Put your thoughts, your shares, your comments into the comments. Ask questions. Talk a little bit of trash. You can do that. You can talk a little bit of trash, even though we do believe faith, family, then football. In that order right there. We could talk a little bit of trash, but we don't want to let it get so bad that, you know, we end up hating each other as people and stuff like that. And we don't mind if you watch a horrible football team. We just want to be able to talk some football with you and maybe even have a little bit of fun, a little bit of trash talk. You know what I'm saying? John Kapler, the bad guy. He says it's game day, baby. Got about 10 hours until kickoff. Heading to the interview right now. Hopefully it's not too long so I can hop on the show. Bold prediction, Hooker will be stand Detroit line. Will be stand Detroit line. I think what he means is he thinks that Hendon Hooker is going to start playing ball. And it hasn't been all that great for him since he's been practicing. So right now, that's one of the questions that we have going into this preseason game right there. We got a backup quarterback battle right there. So I think that there is some part of the fan base, including John Kapler, that would think that Hendon Hooker would just run away with this backup quarterback position. And, I mean, it's possible that he does that because Nate Sudfeld is on record just saying that he's really behind Hendon Hooker progressing and taking the next step as a quarterback. So it doesn't seem like he really wants all that competition. But the thing is Brad Holmes and Dan Campbell got to put the best guys out there, right? And if Hendon Hooker isn't the best guy and he doesn't earn that backup quarterback job, then they shouldn't just give it to him because they drafted him in the third round. You know, Brad Holmes is a genius of drafting. And, oh, my gosh, would it be that awful if he missed on one draft pick? I mean, it does happen. It does happen. If he hits on Hendon Hooker too, I mean, where we're going to find Brad Holmes misses. He doesn't miss. Like everybody's even playing. Even Levi Onwuzurike's playing good. I guess Josh Paschal. I don't know. Where are you going to find the weakness in any of Brad Holmes' draft picks? And the more and more these draft picks continue to get better and better and progress, the more even some of these outside free agents are just going to not be on the team as much. So there is a backup quarterback battle. Nate Sudfeld versus Hendon Hooker. We ain't going to see any Jared Goff tonight, and we do have some football tonight. Do you believe that? Here we are. It's game day. How you feeling? How you feeling about game day, Lion fan? I want to know. Let us know in the comments how excited you are about seeing some backup players go at it tonight. Trying to make it on that team. Davey says one pride, and then we got Fred Peterson in there. Good morning. It's a great day to be a Lion. One pride. Yes, it is an exciting season. Scott Harrison's in the house, and Detroit Fan Man's in the house with the quality of intros and music selection. It's almost like the Villain Squad is stacked with musicians. Nice work, man. I wish that I could keep all these songs on there. You know, I choose this music. I wish that I could say that I wrote that music, but you guys only get to hear that on the live version. I do want you guys to know that this is only the live version, because once those copyright stuff comes in, I just delete the song, so you don't have to listen to the intros. And like on the replay, you're going to be able to go right into the meat and potatoes of the show, which is us talking about football right there. But I appreciate the compliment on the music selection. I love picking out music. We use Canva to design a lot of the media that we put out there. And here's another thing, like that. If this is the first time that you're watching, we're not some big corporation. I mean, we would love to be like Woodward Sports. I would love to be able to hire somebody like Braylon Edwards or Darren McCarty to come on our show and, you know, and have them as a regular part of our rotation. But no, it's just me and Mike. And we just, you know, we're a couple dudes that like the Lions, and for the last 3 years, we've been building this page. It's just two of us, man. We don't have anybody else. We don't have a team. We are the team. So we just work hard. We're grinders. It takes more, right? It takes more. So if you appreciate blue collar work, that's what we are. We're a blue collar page. And, you know, the Lions Villains, we're the underdogs. Like, we're not supposed to be able to compete with Woodward or, you know, some of these huge channels that are out there. We're just a couple guys out there doing it. And that's why we appreciate the help that we get from Joe Chapp and the Detroit Lions News Podcast, and, you know, the Huddle Sports Network with Bill the Packer fan and Mike the Bear fan. You guys, it takes a village to do this and to do it on a level to try to compete with some of these big boys that are out there. So I appreciate that compliment more than you know, right there, Detroit Fan Man. Fred Peterson says Hooker, Sudfeld, Uncle Rico. Uncle Rico's out there putting the comments out there. You know, I think that Uncle Rico, I bet you Hooker could throw that ball over that mountain over there. And I am down in Arkansas, so there are some mountains for me to throw it over. So, but make sure you get your questions in there today, because it is just going to be me today. And Mike is out, like, because it is faith, family, and football in that order. Mike is out getting to spend some time with his grandchild, and that is awesome. And I'm lucky enough right down here that I am with grandma and grandpa and a couple of uncles right here, that I actually get to do this podcast while I'm on vacation, because I don't want to get in the way of the time that grandma and grandpa can spend with my little boy, my little awesome boy. Look at that. Steve in there. Sudfeld has an actual NFL playing time. Hooker hasn't yet. So Hooker has to really ball out. It should be exciting. And that's coming from Steve is real. Yeah, he is a Packer fan, but I love the fact that Steve keeps up on his rivals as we do, because we think that's important in fanning. So we don't just come out and start running our mouths about how great we are and not acknowledge how good the Green Bay Packers got over the offseason, or the Chicago Bears got over the offseason. So I appreciate that comment right there. And, that's what it is. It's competition, and some regimes would just be like, well, we spent a 3rd-round pick on him, so we should be putting him out there. And even without earning it, you think you don't want to look dumb because you waste the 3rd-round pick if you're wrong, right? No. Brad Holmes don't care. You got to win. You got to win that position. You have to earn that position. That's a great comment there, Steve. And Chance says, only time in my life I've actually excited to see a hooker. You know what? There are jokes all over the place with Hendon's name right here. And you know what? Imagine if Hendon was really, really, really good. Then wouldn't the rest of the teams be screwed? Okay, there you go. Oh gosh, yeah, we got jokes, maybe even bad jokes right there. Fred Peterson says, so Steve's logic, Sudfield is better than CW. Caleb Williams. All right. Yeah, I like that. Yeah, Sudfield out there competing with Caleb Williams. Yeah, we don't know what's going to happen. No. I don't know if that's a logic thing. I think it's a good logic thing because, just to say that he has NFL playing experience is a good thing, and it should help him in a quarterback competition where, you're trying to be that number 2 guy. The backup quarterback isn't just a dude that goes in when the starting quarterback goes down and that's his only job. He helps the starting quarterback get prepared. They're in the game room. They want to see things that the starter isn't seeing. So I know that Nate Sudfield was a good help to Jared Goff in the preparation room and things like that. So it isn't just playing. It's also, recognizing things on your upcoming opponent and being able to share good information with your starter. So there is more than just playing out on the field for a backup quarterback. Let's see. Sarah says, anyone got money on the UFC fight tonight? Lions versus Giant. I see what you did there, Sarah. You got good jokes. You got good jokes for a Viking fan. And I'm wondering when your Vike Queen podcast is going to be coming out so we can help promote that, or if you have a graphic for it, because I would love to hear your point of view on your own podcast. I don't know if you're still serious about that, but we'd be willing to help you out with that. I'll give you good shout outs in there. Good to see you in here, Sarah. Fred Peterson, also history of the NFL. Has any backup quarterback ever had a jersey mass produced like Hooker, or is the NFL just want to mass produce jerseys that say Hooker? I mean, what are you supposed to do with that? What are you supposed to do with that? I know that this isn't a kid's show, but there are so many good possibilities, and there are also some not so good possibilities on things that you could do with that, with the Hooker name right there. It almost feels like I'm saying a bad word just by saying his last name when you're talking about Hendon Hooker. But when you look at Hendon Hooker, he's got everything that you want out of a backup quarterback, and, potentially, somebody that could step in and actually win some games. He's athletic. He's 6'3", 220 pounds, is really strong. He's got a strong arm. He's been having some accuracy problems in training camp, so he's got to clean that stuff up. You can't be inaccurate. That's how you throw picks. That's how because the NFL is like that. You got such good cornerbacks, and you got it. The windows are smaller. Everything is tighter when it comes to playing quarterback in the NFL. So really, I'm not saying that Nate Sudfeld has ever really been that guy, because I don't think that we want to put the reins into Nate Sudfeld's hands if it actually came to game time. And I think that that's what everybody's looking for out of Hooker, because you want a guy that can go out and actually win you a game if Jared Goff goes down with an injury. You know, the Lions have Super Bowl aspirations this year, and you can't leave any stone unturned, because really it could take any position from any spot that could derail your season, because the margin of winning and losing is so small that, you know, this 12-5 team could have easily been 8-9 team if a couple bounces had went either way. So nothing is given, and I like that Dan Campbell isn't letting that complacency happen to the Lions. So Fred Peters said, I know, Steve, I've seen Sudfeld play. Guy's almost as good at throwing the pig skin as me. Ooh, almost, Fred. I don't know. I think that you got a little more velocity on your throw than Sudfeld does, but I think that's a good comment right there. Good morning, Paul Jones. Good to see you on here. Sarah says right here, I'll be on Friday night working with the other guys to see if I can broadcast to my channel. We'll let you know. So there you go. Viking fans watching this show, Sarah is going to be testing out some of those podcasting skills Friday night. So make sure you go check her out, support her, give her video a like and a share. And there you go. Right there. Elise Memes, the queen of memes. Happy game day, villains. And Elise is part of our Villain Squad network, actually content creating, putting some stuff up on the page. We appreciate you for contributing to our page, and everybody should go and follow Elise Memes, because she's got some cute memes that she puts out there, some things that are very witty. You actually have to have a brain to understand some of her jokes. So check her out. Chance Lax looks like looking forward to the wide receiver battle and the D line, with the hype that they are getting right there. And there you go. Let's transition right there. Let's get into some of that D line battle right there. We got, let's see where we got right there, the storylines. Right there, the top storylines. You know, one of the main storylines for the Lions is who will be that pass rusher that comes in opposite of Aiden Hutchinson. I gotta find my graphic in here. Where'd you go? Where'd my graphic go? There it is, right there. We got to figure out who the pass rusher is opposite of Aiden Hutchinson, and I've been on record in here to say that this isn't a one-person job. You know, last year when you look at the numbers, Aiden Hutchinson played like 9,000 snaps on the one side. He never came off the field. And I think that when people say we need a pass rusher opposite of Hutchinson, that you need this guy that's going to be out there as much as he is. And that's just not realistic. That's probably not going to happen. So I do believe that you know, you got Hutchinson that's going to be over here, you know, for, you know, 90% of the snaps. But then over here on this side, you're going to bring in James Houston. You're going to, you know, bring in Matthew Betts, bring in Josh Pascal, bring in Marcus Davenport. And, you know, where you got 90% of the snaps over here, you're really going to have like 3 or 4 guys that are probably going to be taking 25, 30% of the snaps on that rotation and playing matchups on that other side. So I don't think it's going to be any one person. So, but there is one person that is going to emerge as the guy that's actually going to be out there first with Aiden Hutchinson. And I would think that that's probably going to be, they brought in Marcus Davenport to be that guy to at least start. So he can play his 2 games and then be injured by week 3. We'll get somebody else in there, but he'll get a couple games in there before he gets injured, I think, maybe this will be a year that Marcus Davenport can actually make it through an entire season without blowing up his ankle, because we've already had some bad injury luck with Emmanuel Mosley being out for the season with a complete different injury than what he got put in for. So, and then there's James Houston. I haven't really even heard much about James Houston in this offseason. And I don't know, is that a good thing or is that a bad thing when you talk about James Houston? I mean, here's a guy they drafted in the 6th round out of Jackson State, where he has like 20 sacks or something like that. Ridiculous. Got the nickname The Problem. He goes his first year, he doesn't even make the original 53-man roster, goes to the practice squad, comes in like week 9, and then destroys the NFL and gets like 8 sacks in a short amount of time. And then he has a catastrophic injury where they got his knee put together with pulleys, but he's out there. I haven't heard anything good or bad about him being in there, but I know that the potential of James Houston, at least as a speed rusher, as a rusher only, right now he's kind of a one-trick pony when it comes with his skill set. They've been trying to put him out there in coverage and trying to get him out there on other downs, but right now he's just a pass rushing specialist. So on 3rd down, he's a candidate to be the opposite of Aiden Hutchinson. And then there was the 2nd round pick from the same class that Aiden Hutchinson came out in, and Josh Pascal, who has shown flashes but just hasn't been consistent. He's going into his 3rd year. And 3rd years with the Detroit Lions seem to have some kind of like magic type of feeling with that. What's up, buddy? What's up, my buddies around here?
Hi, Danny.
Hi, Guy.
We're going on a walk.
Mom's taking the little guy on a walk around the house. Got so much space out here. So beautiful down here in Arkansas. It just gets really, 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 really hot during the days. And, that's all right. That's all right. But it's a good thing. It's a good thing. But we're talking about the pass rusher battle opposite of Aiden Hutchinson. I really want to be able to see that tonight. I would love to see somebody stand out as a guy tonight in that pass. Who do you think that's going to be? Who is going to be the one that steps up opposite of Aiden Hutchinson to be the guy? Or do you think it's just going to be another smorgasbord where you just got some guys that are out there that, or is somebody going to stand out and be the guy, maybe be the force to be reckoned with there? Are we going to see Elise on TV like they showed Taylor Swift after Taylor started dating Kelsey? I don't know. I don't know about that. I mean, that would depend. I haven't heard anything that she would want to do something like that, but I mean, I'm sure that we could set up something if you guys want to see Elise memes on here. Maybe she'd come onto the show if she wanted to do that. Right there. On a serious note, do you think that Campbell will be less aggressive on 4th downs and be more selective on when he goes for it? And honestly, like whether you want to think of whatever you think about that or not, the answer to that, I think that he's going to be just as aggressive. They've built in a mentality to just be that aggressive person right there. And as a matter of fact, even with a kicker that can kick 60-yard field goals, I even think that Dan Campbell is going to be aggressive on that part of it. And not from the point of, hey, we're on a 30-yard line, it's 4th and 2. We're still going to go for it on those. Maybe a little less, and taking the points. But I know that the Lion or Dan Campbell gets a lot of flack for being that aggressive. But the funny thing about aggressiveness is you only talk about it when it doesn't work. When Dan Campbell's being real aggressive, it's just like they just go, yeah, I like that. He's biting kneecaps. But when it doesn't work, You know, when you're 0 for 4 in the NFC Championship, it looks bad. It looks bad. But if you look back at any one of those fourth downs that he went for it on, no one considers what would have happened if he only got one of those. I think any one of those fourth downs that he would have gotten the NFC Championship would have been killers for them, especially with them being down. You know, when you're down by 17 points and then you're on their 30-yard line and you go for it and you get that fourth down, you're resetting the clock, you're playing, you're running the ball more, you could possibly get 7 points instead of going for the 3. So it's like, I don't play the game of, you know, I love Dan Campbell. You know, the only reason we got to the NFC Championship was because of his aggressiveness. We probably wouldn't have won the Rams game if he hadn't have went for it on, went for the win on a second down play rather than a third down play, or, you know, or when you're running the ball on 3rd and 11 because you know you're going to go for it on 4th and 3. So it's a mentality. It's not like they're trying to build it in. It's a mentality he's trying to build into the team. Like the team ain't going to back down on him either through that. So I think he's going to be just as aggressive and go to close out games and drag you out to the deep water and take you out. Don't give you a chance to win at the end of games. You know, and when you have a good running team, that's the type of ball you can play. I mean, when you're converting on 3rd and 11 on run plays, it's a different thing. Detroit Fan Man says that if anyone is asking me, Sarah, I want to see CDC be more aggressive, earn it, own it, control it, change the entire game. That's an interesting take, Detroit Fan Man, because the data supports what you're talking about. Like, people can be from the outside and make fun of what's going on right now, but the data supports it. Says that you're going to get more of these 4th and shorts than that when you get those, that your chances of winning the game go up exponentially to get those, and then just to be conservative and take the 3. And we've been on a team, you know, that would always be conservative to take the 3. Oh, it's 4th and inches. Oh, we better punt and go inside, try to get him inside the 10. That was Jim Caldwell style, playing Marty Schottenheimer ball. And I hated that. I hated kicking the field goals all the time, because then you always feel like you're playing not to lose instead of playing to win. So I agree with that right there. Sarah says, I don't know. I think it's kind of the game plan that will backfire. Sure, but so will kicking the field goal and playing not to lose and having the other team drive down and beat you when you have a trash defense. So, will they back off going for it? Maybe a little bit, but I don't think it's going to be a huge mark, because, I mean, I think maybe a little bit of that last year, Sarah, was to deal with, I think that they knew that they didn't have a good secondary. You know, when you're playing against Minnesota and, you know, you got Justin Jefferson and Addison on the other side, and Nick Mullins has been chucking the ball down the field and completing passes. It's like, go close the game out, you know, like, let the offense. What's the strength of the Lions team? It's the offense. It's the offensive line. It's being able to move people off of their spot. So many people think, you know, we give Jared Goff a little too much credit. And there's part of that that's true, because you can lean on that run game. But Jared Goff becomes the best version of Jared Goff when that run game is in there. So I don't mind. You know, I don't think that I'm not worried about the backfire plans, because the thing is it backfires until it doesn't. Kicking too many field goals and allowing your team to catch up also backfires. So Broski Bear says, I missed the end of the chat yesterday, but I read through the comments and supposedly there was a bet offered to me. What was the bet? So he popped off. So Broski, we don't like betting money on here. And Mike offered you a bet because Mike's poor and I'm poor. So I don't know how much $100 hurts you. So if you're just a dude that's got a whole bunch of money in your bank account, the money thing doesn't hurt you. But what does hurt is pride. Pride is the best bet in the world. It means more than money. It's more than $100. So Mike made you a bet, broski, that if the Lions don't sweep the Chicago Bears, that he's going to come onto this show for an entire show wearing bear gear and looking like one of those bear down guys. And he's going to have to broadcast the entire show on here in bear gear. If the Lions sweep the Chicago Bears this year, then you have to come on this show and you have to be here smiling right at us, and you got to take your medicine. So that was the bet. It's a simple bet. It's a pride bet. We don't want to go into money because I definitely don't want to get into that type of thing in here for my own personal beliefs on there. I don't want to be throwing money out there on this show like that. I don't mind. Like, I'll even tell everybody, hey, there's a FanDuel out there. You can do all kinds of gambling on there. You can bet your money. I'll do that. If you want to do that, that's fine. I just don't represent that in my own personal beliefs that I would bet money from this show. So if you think Mike's scared of that, I kind of that's on me. That's on me. So you can blame me for having Mike be scared to bet $100 because I don't want to do bets that are for money through this program. But we can do pride all day long. I'll take some pride. I'll take some pride bets right there. But what do you think? What do you think, broski? You want to take that bet? You like that? Oh yeah, you see, broski must be good with money, because the risk is way worth the reward on that. That's the bet that Mike has is worth way more than $100. Way more than $100, if that's weird. But that's fine. If you back out of that bet, that's fine. We're just not going to be doing money bets through here. I'll be at the Titans game, says Elise. I am going to try my best to get on TV. That would be awesome. We would love to see that. We would love to see that. But, you know, anytime that you want to jump on here and be seen on TV, Elise, you just let us know. And we definitely want to promote it if you're going to come on here. I'd love to hear your opinions on here. Mike Fisher says, broski, Detroit sweeps Chicago. You go on air, take your medicine. Chicago sweeps. Mike wears bear gear for the entire show. What Bear fan wouldn't take that bet if you were really confident? I mean, really, anybody, if you got money, you can just drop $100 and light it on fire. That's fine. But, you know, we're from Flint, Michigan, broski. We don't have money. We can't risk our families right there. So Detroit fan mans, of course, themes the possibility the more aggression could be the liability. But MCDC has become the mayor of the NFC North simply because he decided to. I hope that he takes to stay there. Keep it and own it. So it looks to me like the Lion fans really like the aggressiveness. Or if they don't sweep, you'll have to follow up on that. I'm not. Chicago, Mike wears bear gear for the whole show. Or if they don't sweep. Yeah, well, I mean, it's okay. Says, thanks, Mike, but that's weird. I'm cash only. Okay, we already hit that. Steve says, I think that the future Marshawn Lloyd is going to be our Marshawn Lynch. Yeah, Marshawn Lynch couldn't catch the ball out of the backfield either. I heard that your guy's really struggling catching the football on camp. That's what I heard about Marshawn Lloyd, even from your own outlets right there. I don't know if he's going to be – I think Marshawn Lynch is kind of a stretch right now for a rookie that can't catch the ball. Yeah. Mike Fisher says, LOL. They also talked about, it doesn't want to really bet. He's just rich. We got to come out of the half firing on all cylinders. Oh, there we go. Chance Lax. What a great comment that is. Right there. Right there. The third quarter, the dreaded third quarter. What was up with the third quarter with the Lions last year? It was like an anomaly. They could come out killing it, and it's just like something about the third quarter. I mean, it's better than the fourth quarter being sucky. But you win 12 games without even winning any third quarters. But for some reason, they couldn't. They play 3 quarters of football. So that's a great question. I'll pose that to you out there. What do you guys think, Lion fans? Do you think that the Lions are going to be able to improve upon that third quarter, all of that stuff from last year? I mean, I don't know. We gotta come out of the half firing. I don't know. That's a good one right there, Chance. Throw that back in there. I'll come back. I'll come back to that if you guys want to make a comment on the third quarters. That was a weird thing last year. Fred Peterson says that I think the MCDC stays aggressive. Okay, our kicker is good, but it's just another card to play if he should choose to use it. It's the trickery and the mind games of the game. Yeah, they talked about that. I've heard a couple of the professionals talking about just like if you got a mindset where you already know as your own team that you're just going to be able to go for it. There's a certain gasp that happens when you got, okay, we're going for it on fourth down. Are you up to playing on that fourth down? Or are you nervous to get it or not get it? I think that when you go for it all the time, that the nerves not only come down on fourth down because you're doing it so much, the nerves come down on third down when you know that you're going to go for it and the defense gets caught off guard. When you get into a 3rd and 11 and the Lions do something like run the football, that completely opens up the way that you can do play calls. When a team sees you on 3rd and 11 and they're dropping back into quarters, or they're trying to cover all your wide receivers, and then he just drops back and hands the ball off to Jahmyr Gibbs on a light front, a 5-6 man box. I mean, that you're putting your offensive players in a position to win, because usually when you're pushing, but when you're backpedaling, you're trying to get to the quarterback, and all of a sudden you have the offensive line pushing down on you when you're expecting him to drop back and do pass coverage. That's a different beast. You can catch defensive linemen off guard when they're not expecting to get struck so fast, because when you're run blocking, you're pushing downhill. Like you're moving forward. When you're pass blocking, you take a step back to try to, seal edges from them coming around the edges on you. So it changes the mentality, Fred. I think it changes the mentality, and that's a good one. It makes it so you can be more, do more trickery with your play calling. Sarah says, but don't you think that teams also have to assume that and treat fourth down against you like a down, how they would go on regular third down? But off the point I just made, Sarah, it's not just fourth down. It's third down and fourth down. It's a mentality. It's a mentality that if you stick with it, because some people just go forward on fourth down because they're like, I need to make a decision. If your mentality is we got 4 downs to do this and we're going to forego the 3 points. Last year, Dan Campbell got a hell of a lot more touchdowns than he missed on fourth down. He made on the fourth downs that he turned into touchdowns, chewed up more clock, was in control of more of the game. So, I mean, it's 6 of one, half a dozen of the other. The data supports going for it. It doesn't matter if they're prepared for it or not. We have the mental fortitude to go and do it, just as much as you have to stop it. You guys have to figure out if you're going to stop it. So I don't know. I mean, I don't know what's right yet. Nobody's ever really had this type of aggression before. No one's actually taken that data, that metric that favors going for it on fourth down. I mean, this isn't something I'm making up. This is the real metric is there's like on less than 4th and 2 that going for it on fourth down gives you a better chance to win than kicking a field goal from any spot. So no one has tested that all the way out through through a whole season. And last year was about the closest that I'd ever really seen anybody doing that. So I think there's a chance that Dan Campbell is even more aggressive this year, and what that's going to lead to are a couple of losses, probably. I think that you're right, that it will lead to some losses, but it's going to lead to blowout wins too, because what's going to happen is you're going to score 7 points on some of those aggressive fourth downs. And here's another thing, Sarah. You don't do this with an average offensive line. I think that you do this because you got a couple guys on your offensive line that are special, maybe even generational type of guys. And you have that type of advantage. I'll take running behind Penei Sewell on 4th down and 2 over trotting Jake Bates out there to try to get 3 points from 40 yards out. Steve says, what I like about preseason games is it lets me see who really wants it as a player. How bad do they want it? Yeah, it's the battle of second and third stringers, baby. What is the depth of your team going to look like? That is what preseason is all about. I mean, some of the team now, if you're out there trying to find half of your starters, then your team's pretty you're not in a spot that you really want to be in yet. If you're out there fishing for starters, but for the most part, the good teams that are out there, most of the starters are set. So we're talking about number 2s and number 3s out there fighting for it. What happens if one of your top guys get injured? This is the guy that's going to step in. Is your team going to lose a step when you get injured, or do you got the next man up mentality? That's what it is. And who's going to be that guy? Who really wants it the most? Because these are the guys that are like me. Like, I'm the blue collar guy. We don't get paid nothing for this. We're ready to go. We're ready to go. When we're ready to do it for the minimum, we're going to work just as hard as the guys that make millions, but we're going to make the minimum. We are the grinders. That's who gets to shine in preseason. This is like their Super Bowl. To get in there and actually play some reps. Detroit Fan Man says, yeah, let's make teams play us differently. Get them off of their normal strategy. Football is different in Detroit. Welcome to it. Yeah, and last year the aggressiveness really did help because it covered up some huge holes that we had in the secondary. So I'm curious to see what they're going to do now that the holes aren't really there in the secondary anymore. Because right now we're not even playing the main starters that are out there, like our Carlton Davis and Amik Roberts and most. They want to get some of the younger guys the snaps and practice and stuff. So I don't know how Aaron Glenn that may make them kick more field goals, Sarah. It may make them kick more field goals because they have a better secondary now. But if you're going to win scoring the most points at the end of the game, and you keep going for it when it's not sensible, it can escalate losing quickly. Now, are you're obviously referring to the NFC Championship game, and there's other factors in that, Sarah, that you can't just point at the aggressiveness as the reason. You can't fumble the ball coming right out. I mean, Jahmyr Gibbs had one that was the worst fumble that he could ever had, and they also had a face mask. The ball bounce off of a face mask right into somebody's hands. So there's those factors that go along with the other thing. But any of those fourth downs would have probably ended the game, Sarah. That's how fine of a line that is. Yes, didn't make the Russ bet. He needs money for water. You don't make that. No, you know what? I'm not the one that made the bet. It was Mike that put the bet out there. But you know what? Betting for money is dumb because there's so many different factors. Most people that bet a lot of money and that come in with the big I'm gonna run my mouth. He doesn't want to be embarrassed. He can lose $100, but he doesn't want to be embarrassed. That tells me everything that I want to know about Broski's like his betting. I only bet for money. Yeah, well, then you probably have money. That's fine. And that's fine. Congratulations, by the way. I'm glad that you have enough money that's disposable that you can just throw it away on things. So, Detroit fan man, and if we continue to be successful more and more than the halftime, the math equates more and more points in the win. I think the Tin Cup is right. Hit it again. The Tin Cup was right. So Mike Fisher says, to be fair, Broski didn't back out because he never accepted that bet. Okay, I mean, that's fine. He didn't back out. He backed out of a bet. He backed out of a bet. Like Mike told him what he was willing to do. And when you start comparing money to embarrassment and then you're going to back out of the embarrassment bet, that tells me that you're not really that confident. You're not really that confident because to me, the embarrassment is worth more than the $100. I'll be at the Lions and Colts game. Hey, Chance, I'm going to the Lions and Colts game. So we should meet up and have a beer. Sarah says, I'm just saying that teams are going to be more prepared to stop it because there's no element of surprise. Sure. But the thing is I'm not really understanding that mentality. It's like, how are you more prepared for it? Because when I trot my team out there to go for it on fourth down, there is no surprise. There is no surprise on fourth down. I'm saying, Sarah, we are going out and we are going to get 2 yards. Stop me. And that worked for them. It's not that you can't be more prepared if you're just lining up and doing another play. So I don't agree with that. They're not going to be more prepared to stop it. It's going to stress them out even more, knowing that they got to go out there for another down. And if the Lions do get it, that breaks your will. I don't know if you've ever played football out there before, but if you've been stopping people on 3 downs and 3 downs, and then they keep getting it and they keep getting it, that wears on you mentally. And then you will get broken, which 12 teams got broken last year, and then 13 and then 14 in the playoffs. So I'm just saying that they're going to be more prepared to stop it. I mean, that's fine. You better be, or else we're going to win 15 games and go all the way to the Super Bowl. Fred Peterson, Elise, just don't run into the field when the hub scores a TD. Wife or not, they will boot you. Mike Fisher, Rush, you're going to that game too? Yes, I am. I'm going way. I'm getting behind, and I'm not even getting to see Broski's responses here. I thought that he was out. I said, dude, how can I back out of a bet that I never agreed to? Using that logic, Mike backed out of my $100 bet. All good, although since you don't want to bet money, don't want money bets being discussed here. Yeah, that just goes against what I believe in, Broski. I mean, I'm sorry. I ruined Mike's bet. So if you don't want to bet, that's fine. That's fine. I mean, you didn't really back out of the bet, but I don't understand why you won't do a bet that just has you coming on a show and taking your medicine. You just got to take it. You just got to take it. Mike's willing to come onto this show wearing bear gear. Like, I don't get it. Bro, and if you don't, I mean, this is, gosh, I don't want to I don't want to call you a wuss or anything like that because you didn't really back out of the bet. So we can drop that as long as we're I mean you can't come on Mike for not taking a $100 bet. Okay, that's not fair. I don't want to turn this show into a place where a whole bunch of bets are going on. There are places that you can do that. You can go put $100 bet on the over on your team. You can go bet all your money, broski. That's fine. Like, we just don't bet money on here. And honestly, I'm still a believer that it is a way better bet to do a non-money bet, because that means that both people are on a level playing field. Because like I said, I don't know what your bank account is, and I don't know what it is. I don't want to know what it is. I don't really care. I don't consider winning bets throwing it away, LOL. Well, unless you lose, it's throwing it away. But that's the thing. It's like, you're not throwing it away, but what are you really betting? What are you really betting? If you can't be embarrassed, it's not embarrassed to lose $100. It's not embarrassing that you don't even lose any pride for the $100. Barely. Let's see, Mike Fisher. Let's bet loser paints their nails. Oh, Jeremy. This is what makes grit. I watch all football. You don't watch preseason, broski. You're missing outbalancing their second string and fourth string guys. What did Broski say? He doesn't watch preseason? And that's all right. I've never heard of that. I have a conviction that I don't want to do money bets, and Broski has a condition that says that he doesn't take anything but money bets. So he must be a professional gambler. Let's see. I was just at my interview, and my boss was like you, like the Lions games that you go into. I told him with the prices, I'm probably just going to watch on TV. We'll get you tickets if you work out. Okay, good stuff. Ever hear the term "put your money where your mouth is"? I'm not into that frat boy stuff. It's big boy time money. Okay, that's fine. I'm not going to sit here and I'm going to preach to you about religion. I'm not. That is not on my show. But I cannot do that, broski. We gotta agree to disagree on this. We have to agree to disagree right here. I wouldn't let Mike do $100 bet on this program. I would not let a money bet happen through this channel. I'm sorry. That is my fault, broski. Mike offered you a bet. If you don't want to take it, that is fine. But it is to my convictions that I will not allow a money bet on here. So let's not get into frat boy, us being scared to take your bet because it's $100 bet. Our bet is better than $100 bet that was offered. I just posted on a Bear site that I don't like, that said, don't be riding with the Bears, make the Super Bowl. I told them as spectators this season, they will have a shot. Yeah, I don't know. These Bears, they could, you never know. Their team got a lot better. I think that Ryan Poles made them a lot better. My point is, teams aren't going to send in their special teams out on fourth down. Okay, I get that, Sarah. And you know that more than half of our fourth downs weren't special teams fourth downs. And out of all the special teams fourth downs that we went for, I think that we got more of them than we didn't get last year. But most of the Lions fourth downs are just line up and run another play. So, yeah, you're not going to get the special teams ones that are out there, but most of them are just line up Penei Sewell and run the ball down the throat, and then they get it on 4th and 1. Oh, there you go. Paul Jones says gambling outside of an authorized institution is illegal. Whoa. Wow. I didn't know that. See, it's a good thing I didn't do that. You could have got my show shut down, broski. Detroit fan man. Maybe that was his plan. Maybe that was his plan. He's a Chicago Bear fan, so that would be the ultimate troll, right? Get our page shut down. But any coach that puts their field goal unit out while Goff and Coste on the field isn't fit to coach in an arena league. I'm not understanding that one. Bet a 24 case of bottled water. My point is they won't Detroit fan man. Well, you asked us to answer the question, Sarah. I'm having a hard time. I feel like I answered the question, and you don't like the answer, or you disagree with the answer. And the thing is, I'm just gonna. I like my coach, and I follow my coach. I'm not going to pretend to know more than Dan Campbell. I trust him to make the right decisions, just like you would trust, your guy to make the decisions in there. I like the aggressiveness. It makes me feel good when it goes out there. And obviously, I even watch, the guys that I watch the football games with, and it's really funny because they have a lot of the same reactions that you're having. They love it. They love it until it doesn't work. And then all of a sudden you go, oh my God, they should have kicked the field goal. I can't believe they never kicked the field goal. Oh my gosh. So it's like, that's never going to end. That's part of being aggressive. Like when you get it, it's the greatest thing in the world. Yay. I love it when I get it on 4th down. And Sarah, you admit it too. You love it when your team goes and gets it on 4th down too. The thing is like, I'm not going to play this game of I love my team being aggressive and then cry about it when it doesn't work. The thing is I am going to live with an aggressive coach and whatever that may bring. And you may be able to come on here at the end of the season and go, you see, Dan Campbell shouldn't have been so aggressive. Obviously, you got to say that from last year. You got to say that from last year because you can argue that he was too aggressive. You can argue that he's too aggressive. Let me make sure we got some stuff in here. Let me get some of this music going on in here. Because when we get to the end, sometimes I'm trying to get your comments in there, and then I realize that you guys are just kind of like talking to each other. Jeremy says, we use special teams to surprise teams 3 times, and we're all 4th and long. Let's see. I'll take that fingernail back. I got lots of nails to polish. Oh, it says, it's all good. I enjoy your channel. I'll enjoy drinking and eating turkey and watching the Bears maul the Lions. Yeah. Okay. We'll see if that happens. We'll see if that happens. Mike will probably even honor the bet that he said just because he said it, even whether you do or not. Here's the live stream. Family Cash Sports. Family King. I don't know who I'm promoting right there. They didn't ask me. Let's see. I'm sorry. I'm looking through the rest of these right here. What Lions? Okay, there we go. The bad guy says, Russ, what Lions non-starter will be the player of tonight's game? Non-starter. I'm hoping that it's Levi Onwuzurike. Levi Onwuzurike has been intriguing me. He's one of the guys that there's actually been 2 guys that surprised me in this training camp, in this training camp extravaganza right here. One of them was Emmanuel Mosley, because I didn't think that he was going to even be ready for the season, and then he gets injured. So that one kind of goes out. That one goes out the window, because he got me really high on him, and I'm like, yeah, all right, Emmanuel Mosley's back. I didn't expect him to be back. Oh, he's injured again. So he was out. But the other one was Levi Onwuzurike. And Levi Onwuzurike, according to Dan Campbell, has been playing like one of the best defensive linemen on our team. And if you're a Lion fan, you've been following Levi Onwuzurike, you know that it was just kind of like, who? Levi? The second round, he's already a bust. Levi was kind of forgotten about. Like, he was already considered one of Brad Holmes' busts. But I guess he came into the training camp, and he's been good. He's been really good. Really good. So I want to see if the hype matches that, if he's going to come out and he's going to dominate like they said that he's been doing, because that would be a big surprise to me. I'm not expecting anything from Levi Onwuzurike. I mean, just for him to make the back of the roster was kind of like where it was at with him. So there's that. Mike Fisher says Fountain, Daurice Fountain. Now, here's a guy that, came out of nowhere and isn't just going to be competing to make the team. This guy may be competing for the number 3 position. He's been playing so good. So that's a great call out for Daurice Fountain. How good can he be? Can he make an impact tonight? I mean, here's a guy that's went from practice squad to practice squad and never really gotten a shot. Indianapolis, all these different things. And I want to welcome everybody over from the Huddle Sports Network. I know that stream gets done right at 11 o'clock. So anybody that was coming on over from the Huddle Sports Network, we appreciate you staying with us, man. I'm going a little bit over today, but we turn into a pumpkin at 11 o'clock a.m. right over there. But that's all good. That's all good. So, but I love that call right there from Mike Fisher of Fountain. Hey, Russ, what is your realistic prediction of the game tonight? And what is the one thing that you hope to see tonight? My prediction for the game, no. The prediction for the game is you're going to see a lot of backups in there. Another prediction for the game is I believe that Hendon Hooker is going to play all but 1 or 2 series. I think they're going to give him as much experience as possible. Sudfield might go out there for the first series or something like that. And the one thing that I want to see, since I already mentioned Levi Onwuzurike, and we already said something about Daurice Fountain. Let's see. What else do we like? We got the backup offensive lineman. I want to see how good our backup offensive linemen are looking. I mean, we have a really, really good offensive line, but what happens if one of them goes down? Now, they were able to play the mix and match game last year. We got Awasika and Colby Sorsdahl going into his second year. You got a lot of hope from these guys that you've been developing. So I want to see the offensive line. Let's see. Man, defensively, I want to see Jack Campbell. I want to see Jack Campbell, and I don't know if he's even going to be playing tonight, but I do want to see what that linebacker core looks like, being able to run downhill and having some cornerback second cover, and the cornerbacks too. I mean, who's going to step in there? Who's going to be in the slot now that Emmanuel Mosley is out? Is that an opportunity for Ifeatu Melifonwu to get in there and be a long slot corner? Is that Amik Robertson? Or is that Enos Rakestraw? I mean, which one of those guys is going to step up and take those positions? Now, luckily, we have depth at the positions where we had injured. So that's what I think. I don't know. Hopefully the Lions lose the game tonight, because I like it when they lose preseason games, because they're not regular season games. So It's kind of funny like that. I used to think that all the years, like the New England Patriots, when they were all good, they would always lose in preseason. They would lose these games, and then people would freak out, and then they would be the Patriots and come in and win. So I don't know. I don't like winning preseason games. Maybe it's just because when the Lions went 0-16, they were 4-0 in preseason, and everybody was feeling good. So I don't know. Let's lose some preseason games. No injuries. I like that call. Davey says that Best is going to get 2 sacks. Steve says Fountain. Yeah, that's what we said, man. You guys got a guy out there, right? Who's your camp darling, Steve? Who would you say that the Green Bay Packer camp darling is? The one that nobody really knows about that was like, oh, okay. I mean, for us, it's definitely Darius Fountain, and I would say Levi Onwuzurike, because even though he was a second-round pick, he was definitely forgotten after that back injury. They thought his career was over. So let's see how long that lasts. Neighbors should have been fined for that, for being dumb. You don't punch a dude in the helmet. You're a receiver who needs his hands. You know, the fighting thing is kind of dumb. When you get into it, but you don't want to see your team taking shit off anybody. You know what I'm saying? I wish that Kirby wouldn't have went after him, but there's another part of me that's kind of like, dude, if somebody smacks me upside the head like that, dude, I'm going after you, especially in something when you're competing for jobs and stuff like that. And that was a punk move that he did. So I don't mind being the reactor in that situation. I predicted Hooker has a good game. Lions fans will be asking why we pay Jared Goff. Wow. Now, no smart Lion fans are going to be asking why we pay Jared Goff. You're not asking why we pay Jared Goff, are we, John the Bad Guy? Because I expect more out of you than to ask why we're paying Jared Goff. Because we've had 2 decent quarterbacks in the history of the Detroit Lions. And Jared Goff brought 2 playoff victories to a team that where most of the fan base probably have never seen a playoff victory. Most of the fan base hasn't seen a home playoff game. Now, for Jared Goff to come into this dumpster heap of a franchise, go 3-13-1, take the team from 3-13-1 to 9-8 to 12-5 and 2 playoff victories in the first NFC Championship since 1991. I know that we're not supposed to pay backwards, but he deserved every penny of that. And I don't think any Lion fan that went to one of those playoff games would disagree with me. You got people crying out in the stand because we never win, And now I know that the Minnesota Vikings have this nice, long, good history of winning divisions. The Green Bay Packers have this nice, long history of winning Super Bowls and championships. And the Chicago Bears, they sure rest on that 1985, but they got one. We haven't. We've never had a championship. As a matter of fact, we didn't even have a playoff win in the last 30 years. So Jared Goff is my quarterback. There is nobody that is smart, that watches football on a regular basis, that would think that Hendon Hooker should take that job from Jared Goff. I love you, John the Bad Guy, but that's a good question to throw out there, are you that Lion fan? You're not that Lion fan, are you? I don't think John the Bad Guy's that Lions fan. He's just asking a question. The bad guy's got to ask the questions. Russell the Muscle. That's right, brother. What you gonna do when the Detroit Lions run wild on you? How about my... Ooh, yeah, the Macho Man. Savage. The Detroit Lions, yeah, the cream of the crop, yeah, the cream always rises to the top, yeah. And the Detroit Lions are the cream, and they're rising to the top, brother. All right. Rate the QB contracts. The rate the QB contracts are going, we will have to pay McCarthy $1 billion when it's time. Did you say, why have billions when you can have millions? Yeah, the contracts are out of control. And that's why it was funny to me to listen to other fan bases make fun of us for paying Goff first, and then watching how quickly Goff goes, oh man, I can't believe you paid him as the top quarterback, second best, third best, fourth, fifth. Oh yeah, he's gonna move out of that top 5 so fast. When it comes to these, I mean, the contracts, if you're next, you get paid. You get paid. Steve says there are many sleepers on his team. It's going to be exciting. Yeah. So all Steve's players are good. Like, it's funny if I talk about sleepers, I'm a homer. I know Smoking Jeremy B is a golf hater, and he will be asking why we paid if Hooker does well, and I'll take that bet. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, Hooker should try to win that backup position first. Broski says the Lions have never played in a Super Bowl. Bears have played in 2 and won 1. I didn't deny that. We've never played in it. We don't have any. We have no history. There is no history for us. So, and that's what I'm saying about Jared Goff. It's like, for anybody to say that, Jared Goff doesn't deserve that contract, it's like, not only do we have not a lot of Super Bowl appearances, we don't have very many NFC Championship appearances either. And Jared Goff took us to one. So, I mean, yeah, maybe we get to be happy over something that never happens for us, and you can make fun of us for not knowing what to do with our hands when we're a good team, but we're a good team now. And the fact that we have, our haters on here, talking trash with us and being with us, that shows that the Lions are doing something good. Because for the first 2 years, we didn't really have a lot of people that would come on here from the other team, because we weren't a threat to anybody. There was no reason to talk crap to us, because we were like the beaten down. So now that there is some smack talk, that's why we're the villains. I'm glad that we're the bad guys now. God, I'm so sick of you want to insult the Lions, broski, Sarah, Steve. Here's the best way to get under my skin. Oh man, we've been pulling for you guys. Man, you guys have been losers for so long. We actually want to see you win. It's nice. It's so nice to finally see the Lions come out and be happy for once in their life. That's the type of stuff that makes me mad. The fact that somebody comes in here and be like, yeah, you guys ain't going to do nothing. I'll bet $100. Oh, you guys ain't nothing. That actually makes me feel good. I'm like, oh, wow. You think we're a competitor now. Wow. You actually think that we're a threat to win stuff. Like, the biggest insult is for you guys to accept us and to be happy for us. We don't want you happy for us. We want to be in a rivalry again, where you get pissed off when the Lions beat your ass, like they keep doing over and over again. When I can talk to Bear fans and say, wow, you guys are sure happy about a split last year. Packer fans, you guys are sure happy about a split last year. Wow. Minnesota Viking fans, you're really happy getting swept last year. Same old Lions. God, that's all they do. Sweep the Vikings, win divisions, go to NFC title games. That's why I love that the same old Lions guys. Okay. We'll take that. Under Campbell, the same old Lions means something different than it used to. I mean, the Green Bay Packers haven't won a game in Lambeau against the Lions since Dan Campbell's been there. Undefeated. So, if you want to say same old Lions, that's fine. I'll take that. I'll keep winning in Lambeau. I like that. We'll keep sweeping the Vikings. I like that. We'll keep winning the division. I like that. Same old Lions. Cool. Let's go. Same old Lions. Packers still own a division. See, delusion runs high in Packer land. Because he wants to add up 100 years of history all together. It's all good. It's all good. I love it. I love the fact that, we got a little bit of hate there. Lions fans being there and not winning is worse than. Not the first year. Not the first year, Sarah. You're wrong on that. You get one mulligan when you haven't been winning in 30 years. I'm sorry. I mean, you can say whatever you want when it comes to, getting there and not winning. But when you haven't been there, you haven't played a home playoff game, and then you get to play two and win both of them, and then you get to go to an NFC title game, which hasn't happened since 1991. You get a 1 year. Yeah, I'm happy to have made it there. You don't get that this year. Lions don't get to come. We don't get to do a participation trophy this year. But the thing is, there is not a participation trophy. The Lions haven't won the division, as it's been called, the NFC North. And it is what it is. But the NFC North is a title. It is winning something. So right now, the champs of the NFC North are the Detroit Lions. And, Sarah knows this from last year, which is I gave the Minnesota Vikings the respect of being the division winner all the way up until that week 16 matchup where they actually took the division. And I believe in that. Like, if you win the division, you are the champ of the division until you're not. You get to hold on to that. And I remember talking about that. They kept on winning last year. What Brian Flores was, overshowing on the defense, and they were overperforming with backup quarterbacks and everything. And I gave the Minnesota Vikings the respect all the way up until they lost the division. They were the champs until they weren't. And I'm holding true to that, and that works while my team is the champ. Steve says you're enjoying this. I'm glad. Steve is he's trying to remain cool. He doesn't hate us yet. The Lions still got work to do. Got to get that hate going. We got to turn into the villain. Right now we're the villain of the NFC North, because we get to jump on top of that little NFC North mountain. It's not as big as the Super Bowl mountain, but it is a mountain. We can see the Super Bowl from the mountain that we're on. We can see the possibilities of making it, but we've never been to that other mountain before. We're looking over and seeing that big, huge mountain that's never been climbed before, but we made it on top of this mountain, the NFC North Champion Mountain. It's not as big of a mountain, but it's progression. Now, we can't do this year, Lion fans. This is we can't do it this year, though, Mike Fisher. The Porch Pod by Russell. You're liking that. My family loves it too. They want to see us move down here to Arkansas. So they're loving that you guys love the Porch Pod. But we can't as Lions fans, listen to me. We can't use that again. Like Sarah says, we cannot. Winning the North it's not a participation trophy, but it's not the Super Bowl. It's not good enough just to win the division this year. There's a lot of things that got X'd off last year. That's fine. That's fine. That's like, it's almost like extra baggage, right? It's like extra baggage that you got to hold. You haven't won the division. You got to take off all that garbage, right? All those narratives that Jared Goff got asked for on every single podium. They're not going to ask him again. Well, what? Guys, have you haven't lost in 30 years? And well, how do you feel about that? And, asking those questions over and over again. You had to get rid of that garbage. You got to take off that stink. And now you can start building without having all those storylines over top of you. And the last storyline is a storyline that most franchises struggle with, which is, actually getting to the promised land and winning that Super Bowl. Sarah, you know what that's like too. Getting close and not getting it done. Even Green Bay Packers getting really, really close and not getting it done that's something that the NFC North is very, very used to. So we're here with you now. Now we're not the laughing stock anymore. And if you're laughing at us, that's really funny. Go ahead and laugh at us. You can laugh at us, rival fans, but we have a team that can whoop you if you're not careful. Ooh, yeah. That's nice, Mike. Yeah. I can respect that. When you win, it's yours to lose. Yep. So with a participation trophy, gosh, you got to at least win that division. That's always the first thing. How many field goals will the kicker make tonight? They may go for more field goals tonight than they would in the regular season, Johnny. Just because they need to see if Jake Bates can kick. I mean, they got to put him under pressure. They got to get him in. Got to get him in there, and he's got to make some field goals because that's one of the competitions. They don't even have anybody in there to compete with him yet. But are you putting all your stock into Jake Bates? He's going to need to kick field goals. Figure that out, don't you think? Let's see. Until another team is crowned 2025 new NFC North champions, Detroit Lions are still the champs. Show Packers, Vikings, Bears. Y'all have 3.5 months to wait to find out. And that's true. That is true. But here's the thing is it's very, very, very hard to repeat as a division champion just for the fact that you have a first place schedule. The schedule is going to be a lot harder. So for us our team has to get a lot better, even just to maintain. So that's a hard thing. That's hard. So why Lions fans getting hated for saying NFC North champions? That's all Packer fans have ever done. Please explain that. Hey, love it. Love every minute of it. The bad guy. Enjoy being the bad guy. The fact that we're hated. Thank you. Thank you for hating us. Thank you for hating us enough and treating us like somebody that you should hate. Thank you for not congratulating us for kicking your ass. Thank you for making us the hated team in there. So explain that. I'll explain it to you. The bad guy. It means that we're becoming the bad guy. The more they whine and complain, the more I love it. You want to tell me I shouldn't be happy for winning in the division? Is that what you're trying to say? That's some haterade right there. Nah, I wasn't calling winning a division a participation trophy. I was calling it making to the Super Bowl and not winning it a participation trophy. Okay, that's fair. That's fair. You guys are the best fans from your division anyway, because you guys can take it as well as dish it out. Steve is good at stirring it up, making it fun being in here. It's easy to push people's buttons. We're trying to educate here, Steve. It's fun to be the hated person because you know why? Because it's faith, family, then football. You can hate my football team. That's fine. That's fine. But you like me, and I like you. And I wish nothing but the best for you guys out there. I mean, even if you follow a crappy team, or you think that I follow a crappy team, I love that we can be on here and we can spend time with each other every morning at 10 a.m. We can talk some football. And one of the things that I'm not going to say preach on here, but it's one of our core values is it's faith, family, and then football. My faith comes first in everything. I'm not the greatest guy in the world. I make lots of mistakes. I'm not even what you would consider a good Christian. Some of my Christian brothers and sisters would probably balk at some of the stuff that I do, but I believe in my God. I believe in faith, family, and football in that order, which is why I'm sorry, broski, I can't participate in that gambling type of thing. And that's okay. That doesn't have to be everybody's belief. I'm not here to preach. Faith, family, then football. Use football to spend time with your family. Don't let football destroy your headspace. Just remember, it is just football. And at the end of the day, you can use football to spend time with your family, create memories, create moments. And I'll leave you with the blessing. May the Lord bless you. May the Lord keep you. May the Lord shine his face upon you until we meet again tomorrow morning for the Lion Villain Report. God bless. Peace out.
Hey, yo, the lies so that you never make it. Hopeless, so it seems. Eyes closed, candles open wide to embrace your dreams. Sometimes you gotta take a loss just to get the win. Like lots of sin was popping in like oxygen when boxes win. Focus on the mental, never lose like smooth instrumental. Better choose on the move in a pinto. Choose what I get to, never lose smooth on the move, but it's simple. Never give up and we winning it, maybe. We just keep winning, we conquering daily. Envision and pay me, it's never the sway me. Indigenous, maybe we winning, it's crazy. Opportunity, your opportunity. Your opportunity, your opportunity, it's your opportunity, your opportunity, your opportunity, your opportunity, it's your opportunity, your opportunity, your opportunity, your opportunity, it's your opportunity.